And we are back live from the Los Caballeros Sports Village in Fountain Valley, California. Welcome to a great Sunday finals here at the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball. It's Megan Mehilos wearing her yellow jersey, the one that she won at the first inaugural Fireball Classic in Tucson, Arizona back in April, facing her counterpart, Aisling
Hi,
Reilly.
I'm here with James Comstoff, who's been the chief referee for this 2010 Simple Green U.S. Open. James, another great job. Getting ready to start the women's finals. What are your impressions so far in terms of how the men have performed?
The level of play this weekend has been very high. Been very impressed with the skill that's been displayed by everyone involved. Chapman's had a very strong tournament so far. We had two exciting semifinal matches, good, hard-fought tiebreaker games.
You know, in terms of the weather conditions here, the courts were getting a little wet yesterday. How does your mindset change when you've got conditions that aren't normal?
Yeah, in reffing a match, it becomes very difficult to ref when there's a wall that you know is a little bit wet, and the ball might take a true bounce and it might take a slide bounce, and there's sliders that are kind of half sliders, and you maybe it's a slide, maybe it's not, and it goes through your mind, and you just got to watch it close and do your best, and if you see something, you call it, and if not, you let your line judges help you out.
Okay, we're getting to watch. We're going to watch two of the very best women in the world play here today. They've never played each other. You know, from a referee's perspective, does your mindset change at all when you have to go referee a women's match versus a men's match?
Absolutely not. You're doing your best to call the game and make it fair for both players, and particularly in a final setting with this championship at stake, you do your best to try every point the best way you can.
Okay, James, thanks very much. Believe this is the first time we've had a referee on camera, and thanks so much for your perspective. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thank you, Fred. That might be the last time we have a referee on camera.
I hope it is. Dave, unfortunately for you and I and everyone watching across about 100 different countries, you had a brilliant opening there that was
cut off by an interview.
We'll call it cut off. Some would call it rudely interrupted. But either way, Dave, this is the match that we've been looking forward to in the women's game for just about a year now. Aisling Reilly announcing her arrival, Dave, last year at the World Championship to Megan Mehilos, known as the top American over the last 3 or 4 years, and now they finally meet for the first time. This leads off an incredible day of handball, Dave. 3 finals matches here featuring 8 of the best players in the world.
You see Megan serving here at 0-0, 2 games of 21, tiebreaker to 11. These are 2 of the 3 best players in the world, maybe the 2 best players. A great matchup right here.
You see the quality of play there, Dave. Already in the first rally, Megan hits a nice serve down the left. It just catches that left side wall, and Aisling flips it for a 3-wall return. And the rest of the rally, great percentage handball, finished off by a right corner kill by Aisling. It's Megan Mehilos, Dave, in the WPH Pro Stop yellow jersey.
That was a jersey.
Aisling goes to the ground there, Dave, and re-kills that ball.
That was a jersey that she won for defeating Samantha England in Tucson, Arizona in April. And winners of WPH events, WPH Pro Stops, get the yellow jersey, like the yellow jersey that is earned at the Tour de France. Kind of that concept.
Dave, this is a serve we see the women use extremely effectively at the top of women's handball with the white label ball. It's that Z serve, Dave, that just dies off that left side wall and runs parallel to the back wall. We've seen the top women ace out games on this serve alone. A lot of the women, Dave, will serve with their right hand into the right corner, going into the strong hand.
We saw Megan do that against Samantha England in the tiebreaker yesterday.
Both these ladies, Dave, patiently aggressive. They like to take the ball out of the air and take control of the front court.
0 serves 3.
Make sure that yellow jersey wasn't your shirt, Dave. You type Megan's name on the back. It looks a little big.
I actually wear a Megan Mehilos jersey that she doesn't like dry fit, so we made a special cotton version for her. And the dry fit one came and it was like 2X, 3XL, and they just made a mistake at the manufacturer. So I now wear that. And people said, oh, you're wearing the Bill Mehilos. Nope, that's the Megan jersey. I told Megan that story, and she said, as a response, creepy. Don't blame her. Do not blame her.
Megan's lost only one women's match in the last 4 years, Dave. That was in her last women's tournament in Toledo, the three-wall nationals. Tracy Davis dethroning her on the three-wall courts. Hasn't lost a four-wall match, Dave, since 2007.
Score here is 3-1. This is the women's finals. And a rare hand air there. Although we say rare, we saw that a few times. We saw it a few times yesterday. Aisling Reilly making a couple hand airs. Aisling tells me she has her whole family watching the live webcast back home. She's from Belfast, Northern Ireland. Her mom, Maureen, and father, Robin. I told her that Maureen and Robin sounded like a cartoon character lineup, and she said, yeah, that's what everyone always says.
Isn't that where Robin Williams became famous? That was Mork and Mindy.
Sorry.
I set you up. Didn't take the bait.
Score here is now 3-3.
Sometimes the fish don't bite early in the morning, Dave.
Sometimes the fish are still sleeping. Like to wait till it warms up just a little bit.
Beautiful serve there from Aisling Reilly, and we'll get a slow motion instant replay of this, Dave. You see how she disguised this serve, Dave. Looks like she's going down the right, which she did there. At the last second, Dave, she changes the direction of the ball with a natural. So not only are you fooled
Here's that
right
serve.
here, but then you're leaning to your right, and then the ball hops away from you. Devastating serve, Dave.
And then she sneaks one over to the right on the next one, sets
Well,
up that.
Very next serve, Dave, was an ace down the right.
Actually, it wasn't an ace. Megan got it back, and then Aisling pounded it back down the right.
That's a shot
wall.
I'm seeing the top players use a lot more, Dave. It's that paddle back down the right. With your opponent on your left, it seems like you almost have to go to the left, but these players, they were developing that underhand paddle shot that allows you to take the ball straight down the walls. When you come in with that sidearm swing, Dave, the ball always comes back to the center of the court. Very easy shot to learn, and it's very effective in the front court.
You see how Aisling pushes Megan Mehilos back to that left wall, and Megan not liking the way the action is handling or is being handled in here by herself, so she's going to call that timeout. This is game number 1, Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball. Dave Fink, Dave Vincent in the booth here. Engineering is Chris Garrad. Fred Lewis is on the sideline, and Jeff Kastner has a camera. Let's go to Fred Lewis, who is in the gallery right now. Fred, what's going on?
Well, after a slow start, it seems like Aisling has gotten her rhythm going, hit some very tough serves, got a few aces, a couple of setups, and looks like she's got her rhythm. In order for Megan to turn things around, she's going to have to do a better job on the return of serve and get her into a volley and kind of push the ball back into the corners. If she keeps giving setups, it's going to be a very quick match, so I'm sure that's why she called the timeout, get her focus back, and hopefully she'll get back in this match.
You saw Aisling Reilly sitting next to Fred Lewis there as she was taking that timeout, and I thought that for a second there was like a little kid next to her, but it dawned on me it was Fred Lewis. Aisling is absolutely towering in there. Thank you for that report there, Fred. Yes.
You know, it's almost like watching Serena Williams against Justine Henin. The size difference, the strength, and the power of Aisling Reilly is a huge factor, Dave, in every one of her matches. And she's smart enough to use that to her advantage. That's what you'll see, Dave, players becoming uncomfortable against Aisling.
The score
She's
now.
just so imposing. Even the easiest shots seem difficult. Now you see Megan with two really strange airs there, Dave.
9-3.
Aisling has all the shots. You see her flip that ball on the back wall, and now it's Megan completely rattled here, Dave. And you don't see that from Megan. Generally, Megan's the one doing the rattling.
10-3.
10 serves 3.
There's a mistake. Looked like she straightened that back leg during her swing. Hit that ball straight up and down. Not a good serve there from Megan. She's pushed back into the left corner. You see Aisling's in front of her. Megan's hitting the ball with her left hand from about 32 feet. Very difficult to win points from that position. And you see Aisling just catch that deep left crack. Very effective serve, Dave.
Score now is 11-3.
Aisling is like a runaway locomotive, Dave. When she finds her groove, she scores points, and there's no stopping her.
I spoke to Aisling and Megan right before the match. You might have seen me standing on the court there. It's kind of hard not to see me, but I said to Aisling, I said, after this is over with, I'll play you for $500. And she said, okay. And it was actually kind of scary. I had to back out of that one really quick. She was prepared.
Amazing shot there from Aisling. Straight down the wall. Well, in transitive handball, Anna Engel scored 15 and 16 off you in an open tournament in New Orleans. Anna scoring only 8 and 4 off Aisling. You might want to hit the ATM before that match, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, I got better since then. 13 serves 3. What I'm telling you is it was a little scary in how quick she said okay. A little intimidating.
Here's a big setup here for Aisling. Just incredible. Megan makes a nice get. Generally, you don't think of Megan as a retriever, though, Dave. Megan is generally the player dictating the action.
Wow.
And now it's Megan who's running side to side, diving on the ground, and that's not a position she'll win matches from, Dave. She can keep a few rallies alive doing that, but that's not how she'll take control of this match. We'll see if Fred Lewis has anything for us, Dave, during this second time out in the first game.
Fred Lewis, let's go to you on the sidelines here. You see it's a dominating performance from Aisling Reilly, 14-3. What's going on there in the gallery?
Well, it seems like, as you both stated, that Megan seems a little rattled out there right now, uncharacteristically, pressing, missing a lot of easy shots. It seems to me like she's trying to guide the ball to the front wall instead of hitting it hard. So what that tells me is, she's feeling the pressure. So she's going to have to play her way out of this if she wants to get back into this match.
Fred, it seems to me like this is like watching the top players take on Paul Brady. As good as they are, when they feel that pressure, their whole game sort of deteriorates and falls apart. I think that's what we're seeing right now early in this first game with Megan.
Yeah, I agree with you, Dave. And, Megan's a great champion. She's been through this before. So, she can play her way out of it.
You heard the score, 14-3.
Great serve there from Aisling. Not what you want coming out of a timeout, Dave. Aisling comes right in and fires an ace down the right side wall. It's hard right now, Dave, watching this to see any area where Megan could reverse her fortunes here. Aisling's got the dominating serve, the dominating offense and defense. There's a strange mishit. There's a strange call there. I'd like to go to the replay there, Dave. I don't agree with that call. It was such a strange bounce off that front wall. It had a strange spin on it. Now, let's watch this. Now, she can't tell if this ball is going to hit. I just don't know.
I agree with you on that.
I just don't know how that's an avoidable hinder. I don't even think it was a hinder, Dave.
Yeah, I agree with you. That ball's... who knows what it's going to do? It's like the party ball. It has like a lot of different spin up there, and it's going to come down. Is it going to
And
hit the
she
sidewall?
still managed to get out of the way.
Yeah, is it going to hit the sidewall or not? I mean, if it hits the sidewall, it might come back. Who knows? You can't tell until it happens. Strange call.
These are two of the best shots Megan's hit thus far in the match. The return of serve, and then a beautiful left, and she still loses the point, Dave.
17-3. Point.
Just amazing handball here from Aisling Reilly. Dave, you know, before I'd seen Aisling play, you told me this is the women's Tony Healy, and I looked at you like, come on. I became a believer after one shot seeing her play. That's all it took. She's just so fluid, Dave. In my opinion, she'll take handball, women's handball, to another level. In order to compete with a player of this standard, Dave, the women are going to have to raise their own game. And I think we'll see not only this generation, but the next generation of women's players playing at just a much higher level, raising the bar.
Nobody has scored more than 8 points off of Aisling Reilly here at the U.S. Open or the United States Handball Association's Four-Wall Nationals in June. The benchmark is now set at 8 points, where Courtney Pachot got 8 off the first game here earlier in the tournament.
I actually won some bags of sand on that, taking the over.
Screen serve. 2 serves, 1 screen.
And then there's some in Ireland that say, well, Aisling Reilly's not even the #1 player at her club. She plays with Fiona Shannon, who's the 3-time world champion. I think all that really do know the sport has seen a shift as well there, with Aisling Reilly now taking Fiona in some of those other tournaments locally, but on the world stage, she lost to Fiona in 2 straight in Portland in 2009.
Fiona's still in the prime of her handball career, Dave. She's just in her early 30s.
So let's not rule out Fiona.
Saw Fiona Shannon preparing for the World Championships in Portland, Dave, the day before the event started. She was bringing guy after guy in the court, humiliating them, and then basically walking on the court and pointing next. And it went on and on.
You saw that at the MAC?
It was terrifying. My protege, Dave, Joe Del Sardo, happened to be in that area, and he was hiding when she came out to look for another sparring partner.
Well, I don't doubt that. I saw the look in Aisling's eyes when I told her I was going to play her for 500, and I think that's a little of that Fiona that's rubbed off on her.
4-19.
4 serves 19.
We'll get a chance to talk to Fred, Dave, during the next time out, what he thinks Megan needs to do. I just don't know if she has the tools on this day to compete with
19-4.
this runaway locomotive. You need to have supreme control, Dave, with both hands. Also, a great first step to compete with Aisling Reilly, to pick up those amazing serves down the walls and also those corner kills. Megan
Nice.
goes for an off-balance kill.
This is a good rally here, though, Dave.
This is the best rally of the match thus far. This is the 33rd hit. Aisling looked like she might have had the winner there, and patiently takes that ball back to the ceiling.
Very smart handball from Aisling.
And Megan forces the air. Very difficult, Dave, to have to win a rally by hitting 19 shots. That was a 38-shot rally, ending with an air from the deep court with Aisling Reilly's left hand.
Score is 4-19. Megan Mehilos from Lombard, Illinois. She is a school teacher at York High School, and she says she talks to Coach Mike Dow all the time. Megan, a graduate of LFC.
We saw Aisling winning a number of very quick points. Aces, serve, return, kill. We haven't seen Megan able to execute any kind of short combination winning rallies.
19-4.
19 serves 4, first game women's finals of the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball.
I don't know if Megan falls into your serve and shoot category, Dave, but I think she'll need to do some of that in the second game. That was a flat kill, by the way, from the back left corner from Aisling Reilly. Stuck herself into that left side wall and rolled that ball out flat. It's game point. And another flat kill, Dave. That was consecutive flat kills at 19 and 20 to close out that first game in style. And we'll get a look at this in slow motion. This is just a thing of beauty here to watch, Dave. She hits that right crack. Not a bad return.
Oof.
And look at that strength. You know how much strength it requires, Dave, to be standing facing the front wall. That ball is coming at you 60 or 65 miles per hour, and she just redirects that flat in the corner. Perfect contact and a perfect shot.
Right corner kill wins the first game for Aisling Reilly, 20-4 over Megan Mehilos. And you hear a lot of clamoring there in the gallery because I believe there are some American viewers that thought this would be a very close first game, and, well, it wasn't. Let's go to Fred Lewis, who is courtside. I think Fred is going to line up an interview. Fred, what's going on down there?
Well, I'm waiting on Desi Keegan to make his way down the stairs here. He's going to be playing in the Open Doubles Finals in a little bit. Wanted to ask him what his views are on Aisling, and here he is. Desi, say hi to all your buddies over there across the big pond.
Well, hello everybody. I hope everyone's watching. Getting nervous, excited.
What did you think about Aisling's performance in that first game?
Well, to be honest with you, Aisling and Maria Daly at the moment are way ahead of everybody else. It's a shame Anna isn't here. I'd like to see Anna Christnoff playing because she's an incredible fighter in the court, and she would really make Aisling work. But Aisling, I suppose, is equivalent to Paul Brady at the moment in America, that she's just too strong for everybody. And you saw there at the end of the game, 2 flat rollouts. Unbelievable player.
Well, you had a very tough doubles match yesterday against your countrymen. What was your mindset going into that match?
Not lose. We'd never heard the end of it if we lost to them two. Imagine going back to Ireland. We were discussing myself and Owen. We were up in Venice Beach the other day. We said we'd have to immigrate if we lost to them two. Definitely we would have to immigrate. So we would just really, our game plan throughout the whole tournament, the same as today, is make very few mistakes, keep the pressure on our opponents, and just take our chances when they come. Now, I was getting a bit dizzy with Owen yesterday. He was just wrapping around all day long yesterday, but incredible player to play with, and I think our communication, I'm sure everybody can probably see, we make very few mistakes together. So we're very excited about today. Anyway, pressure's off, because we paid for our trip. So hopefully today will go well for us.
Well, we almost had an All-Ireland final. Your other countrymen lost in a tiebreaker to Chavez and his partner, who I can't recall right now.
Vince Mehilos.
Vince, I'm sorry, Vince. Senior moment here, but did you watch any of that match? What was your thoughts going in there?
Yeah, I was expecting a tight match, all right, but I think we kind of saw in the tiebreaker, Vince stepped up, he really. I have the feeling that they have another level there. I think that Robbie and Michael played exceptionally well, and that I think the fact that Robbie and Michael played them yesterday is going to harm us today, because they're kind of more used to Irish people, Irish style of playing, the underhand and whatever. So I think it's going to be a lot harder for us today, obviously, because it's the final, and the fact that Vince and Marcos are undefeated. But come back to your question on the game, it's very strange how they play one in, one out. They're kind of always following each other across the court. So we have a game plan, so we just have to see how that's going to work out. But it was interesting to see Vince roll back the years in the third tiebreaker. He rolled off 6-7 kill shots in a row there. So we're going to have to watch out for that. Can't set them up. Simple as that.
Well, I know you guys just came off the end of the 30x60 season in Ireland, and now you're getting back in the 20x40. How do you transition from one game to the other?
Well, it's just simply get back into the court. The biggest problem is changing your swing. Particularly in the 6x30, I would have an underhand swing on my left hand, whereas in 40x20 out of a sidearm. It's just really getting used to the ball again, and it is incredibly difficult. Hence why we didn't play the singles. Particularly Owen, he would have done very well in singles normally. But you just have to go in and play and play and play. The hardest thing, it's not about the playing isn't the problem. It's about lack of recovery and rest. So after 6x30, say Paul Brady, for example, he plays 40x20. He played the US Nationals. That's it. He doesn't play again until January, February next year. You know, it's a long break. He's staying fresh. That's it. But we don't have that opportunity. Like we stepped up 6:30 straight into 40-20 on a Monday. So I suppose staying fresh is the most difficult thing.
Speaking of Paul Brady, you know, he's absent from this tournament, first time in quite a while, and you know, it's obvious, you know, that we miss him being over here. You know, what's going on in Paul's life? Are you close with Paul? Do you talk to him much?
Well, I suppose we'd have a healthy rivalry. Like, you know, I wouldn't know personally what's going on, but from what I can gather is that he's teaching in London. He's on teaching practice in London, so it's a case that he's, you know, I suppose it's kind of funny. It reminds me years ago of David Chapman when Chapman discovered at 25 or 26 that he had to get a job. I think Paul has discovered now he needs a job, you know, because I suppose he's the wrong side of 30 now. I think he's 30 now, but he probably realises that, you know, he does need a job. This is probably his plan. Knowing Paul, that was his plan the last 10 years, is be a professional handball player for 10 years and then slowly, you know, like he's all the hard work done now. You know, Paul doesn't need to be spending countless hours on the court developing. He has developed. So, you know, knowing Paul, that's his plan. And I'm sure if he could, he would have been here. Like, because I know, obviously, his record in America, Paul Brady loves beating everybody. He loves come over, showing off his skills and stuff like that. Phenomenal player, like, so it's a shame he's not here. It is very disappointing, but just have to make do without him.
Well, Desi, been great chatting with you. You're a great interview. You know, love to have you back anytime, and good luck later on today.
Thanks very much. Thanks, Mike.
Okay, back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Fred Lewis. That's Desi Keegan, who is the Irish version of Taylor Hicks from American Idol. He's only 27 years old, and he's all gray.
It works for him. Desi's one of the greatest personalities in the sport, Dave.
I know it's hard to believe this, but Fred asked Desi one question, and Desi talked for 5 straight minutes about 60 by 30 handball, Paul Brady's work habits, how to prepare for a handball match, and everything but women's handball.
Actually, he called Aisling Reilly the Paul Brady of women's handball, said that Aisling and Maria Daly were on another level. Might want to pay attention.
Too busy ordering my Velvet Elvis off of eBay. I have a bid on Craigslist as well. 0-0, second game.
Just an amazing serve there from Aisling. That's a big reason, Dave, that her eyes lit up when you asked her for that $500 bet.
She won the first one, 21-4. Aisling Reilly is a civil servant. Works for the government in Belfast.
Try and say that 3 times fast.
That was the best of the 3 for me.
Okay. Nice return there from Megan.
0-1.
Very difficult to win points against Aisling, Dave, with pass shots. The pass shot sets up the kill, but if Megan's unable to roll the ball, it's going to be very difficult for her to be competitive in this match. You see Megan able to win a lot of points, Dave, against her other rivals with her pass shots, forcing errors in the backcourt. You don't get many errors from Aisling. But Aisling could give you some setups, and here's one of them, and you see Megan just doesn't roll that ball.
Megan only wins points when she's in the front court, and Aisling keeps pushing her back.
You see Aisling just tracking everything down, and Megan shoots that ball, but it's barely up, Dave. Against most women, that's a winning shot. Aisling has that extra burst forward,
1-0,
and she re-kills it. Nice return there from Megan. Aisling takes it back to the ceiling, puts Megan in that back corner.
Side out.
There's a nice shot right there from Megan Mehilos. Megan's mom, Terry, her dad, Gus, and brother, Bill,
0-1.
are watching the webcast. Bill watching courtside, mom and dad back home watching on the live webcast, courtesy of the WPH.
Point.
Great shot there from Megan.
And then
That's the kind of shot she'll have to make consistently, Dave, to be competitive here in this game. A pretty good return there from
1-1.
Aisling. Hits the ceiling, and Megan rolls that ball from about 33 feet in the right corner.
score is
Point.
2-1 now, with Megan having the lead here. Also, brother Mike Mehilos
2-1.
is watching in the Chicago area.
Excellent 3 rallies in a row for Megan here. She earned the side out with a nice kill and then hit a nice corner kill and an ace. Now it's a corner kill for Aisling Reilly to earn the side out.
1-2.
Aisling plays with so much confidence and ease of access, I guess you might call it.
That's the skinny V, Dave. Beautiful V pass down the right with the right hand. It's not a shot that you see a lot of people talking about, but it's very effective, Dave. Because it actually hits that right side wall and takes off, as opposed to when you hit that right hand 2-wall pass to the left, it hits the left side wall and checks up. Gives you a chance to get behind that shot.
2 serves 2, the deuces are wild. Game number 2. I'd like to talk to Fred Lewis after the next time out to see what his take is on that skinny V pass. Because I know Fred was known for that 2-wall pass using the right, going over to the left side. But what about that one that goes over to the right side that you're talking about? It seems very effective for those that know how to do it.
It's a more difficult shot to execute because a lot more precision involved. Freddie was known for that deep 2-wall V pass, continuously pushing his opponents into the back court.
2-3.
Fred actually telling me at one time, Dave, that he won a national championship without a kill shot. Didn't have his kill shot that day and just had to rely on his pass. That's how good his pass shots were. That's a setup. Aisling, Dave, just never rushed. And look at that, she gets herself behind that ball. That's sort of one of those squirrely shots there, Dave, that comes off the left side wall with a strange spin, and Aisling anticipates it. She actually slows down her swing a little bit there, Dave, to account for the strange spin. And look at that shot. You can see, Dave, that she hits thousands of those right kills. It's just so automatic.
I went over to Ireland in 2006. 4 serves 2. Aisling was obviously 4 years younger, probably about 16 years old. Let's watch this play develop. And she was in the court practicing that corner kill in a back court, one after another. She had a coach in there and had about 4 or 5 handballs, just bouncing balls to her, and she was bam, into the corner. Bounce a ball, bam, right into the corner. Bounce a ball into the corner.
Bounce to herself or bounce off the front wall?
No, the coach was actually standing on the right side wall in the server's box and would just bounce a ball right to her, and she was going back into that right corner. Kind of hard to, if we had an illustrator here on the screen.
I think I'm following you.
Right where she's standing now, he was over on the right wall bouncing it to her. She was taking it into that corner. Just working on the fundamentals of getting the footwork right. You'll obviously probably never see a ball come straight out from that angle, but that's not what they're focusing on. They're trying to get her to hit the ball over the top into that corner. 2 serves 4, and she was only 16 years old.
A player, Dave, this great didn't just start yesterday. She's been working at this craft her entire life.
3-4.
Should she capture this second game here, Dave, she'll have the U.S. National Championship and the U.S. Open in her pocket. Nice kill there from Megan, just below the camera window. Megan might have found a little opening here with that 2-wall cross-court lob. Aisling looked a little bit uncomfortable returning it, and she pushes Megan over to the left and straight down the side wall there, Dave.
4-4.
Score is 4-4. That's such a great serve, especially in women's handball with this ball. We saw at the Canadian Nationals of 2009 when
beautiful shot from Megan.
When Lisa Frazier-Gilmore defeated Anna Engel 21-4 with that serve in the first game. Then Anna came back and defeated Lisa Frazier in the second game 21-2 with that exact same serve. And then Anna won the tiebreaker doing that exact same serve, but over to the other side, changed it up in the tiebreaker and won 11-2. Strange scores from 2 of the best players in the history of the game, but it was all set up on that one serve, either the hard Z back there to the left or the one to the right.
4-4.
This is actually a soft 2-wall lob serve, so it's a little bit different. You see Aisling cutting off that angle. Knew she wouldn't be able to play that ball off the left side wall, so she took it before it made it to the left side wall. Nice, beautiful pass there. Just didn't catch that side wall though, Dave. I thought it would.
That ball checks up. Kill shot right in the corner, just like a machine.
Just unbelievable consistency and precision from Aisling Reilly. Megan hit the ceiling there, Dave. Didn't drop as deep as she would have liked it, but an absolutely flat kill there from Aisling. Smart shot there. Pushes Megan back. Megan's footwork a little bit sloppy there. Might have anticipated that ball shooting straight out. That ball caught the left side wall. Came back into her.
6 serves 4. Now, Dave, could Megan come in and try to cut that ball off, that serve? Aisling has such a hard, powerful serve down the right. I know that Aisling would check her up every now and then, but is it possible with this white label ball to run in there and
I don't. Here's a timeout from Megan. We'll go to Fred here real quick, Dave, and address that after we hear from Fred. He's going to talk a little bit about that skinny V.
Fred, let's go to you. What's going on there?
Well, first of all, I see Megan making a little bit of a run here, but what she needs to do is obviously keep the ball away from Aisling's power zone, which is down low to the right side. I'd like to see her putting the ball more on the left side wall and forcing Aisling to hit the ball with her left hand. I mean, Aisling's got a very good defensive left, but you know, she's not going to hurt you with it. And so I see a lot of shots where, you know, Megan normally would hit a good pass shot, a 2-wall pass shot to the left, and instead she's catching the left side wall first, and as a result the ball is coming back to Aisling's right hand off the right side wall. She needs to keep away from that and get her control going where she's pushing her back deep into the left-hand corner.
Hey, Fred, let me ask you a question. That skinny pass that we were talking about earlier where you pass the ball down the right using your right hand, is that a shot that you mastered or have ever hit before?
Well, anytime you can run the ball down the side wall, especially when you've got your opponent on the other side of the court, it's a great shot. The risk, of course, is you've got a very low margin for error because you're so close to the right side wall. A lot of players try that shot, and instead of running it down the wall, they either hit the right side wall first and the ball comes out in the center, or they hit front side and the ball comes out to the center of the court. And so if you can master that shot where you're going straight back down the right, it's a tremendous shot.
Fred, have you ever seen a woman roll the ball as consistently as Aisling Reilly does with her right hand?
Well, you know, there was a player once upon a time by the name of Priscilla Shoemate, you know, who did it quite well, probably better than anybody I've seen. So if Priscilla was in her prime, you know, how she would do with these gals, she'd be right up there with them and might even be better because as far as I'm concerned, she hit the ball better than any woman I've ever seen.
Interesting thoughts there from Fred Lewis, Dave. We'll get back in here with Aisling leading now 9-4.
That was a beautiful shot right there out of the camera.
You expect her to just sort of hit a safe shot there back down the left. Instead, she just drills it down the right wall.
It makes me believe that this Irish whip is the perfect handball shot for those corner kills. I mean,
it certainly looks like it.
It seems that you can say that Priscilla Shoemate had the best hitting stroke, but that stroke that we just saw from Aisling Reilly into that right corner, I don't know how you can beat that anywhere with the American style.
Side out.
Well, you know, Dave, we talked about running the ball straight down the side walls, and we heard Fred discuss that just a second ago.
4-10.
The best way to run the ball straight down the side walls, Dave, is with that more of a vertical swing, which is what the Irish whip is. The more vertically you can swing, the more the ball runs straight down the side walls. The sidearm swing, as we mentioned earlier, Dave, will come back towards the middle of the court. When you've got your opponent pinned on the left, you certainly don't want to bring the ball back to the middle of the court. You want to keep the ball down the walls.
That's a point. Nice call.
Very rare, Dave, that you see Aisling dive. Very similar to Paul Brady. You rarely see him dive. They're just always in the right position.
5-10.
Let's watch this kill here from Megan. She goes front wall, side wall. Nice shot there. Uses the right angle there.
Side out.
Too much power right there from Ashleen Reilly.
10-5.
I think, Dave, we both thought Ashleen the slight favorite here. We didn't anticipate these kind of scores, though. It's been all Ashleen Reilly.
Look how she gets her feet into play there, Dave. You see that? If we can get a replay here, and you might want to note the difference between some of the other players in the tournament. Watch Ashleen Reilly's feet. This ball does a strange little thing up front. She knows that it's going to check up. Just gets into
Beautiful
position.
adjusting steps there. You know, Ashleen, Dave, might not be the quickest player on the women's tour in a sprint, but she's certainly got the best footwork in that 3 or 4 short step process that we call adjusting steps, preparing to hit the ball. That's really the most important footwork that you can make in this game, Dave, is those short steps just around the ball. She's always in the right position, even able to run back towards the back wall, stop, set up, and shoot that ball.
13-5.
Did you see that last kill shot right there?
Just
from
an
Ashleen?
amazing shot, amazing body control.
There's a lot of congestion too, and Megan wanted that to be played over because of the contact.
Megan had the shot she wanted there, and instead of making one more step to her left, Dave, she reaches and mishits that ball. Ashleen catches the corner. She hits that ball with so much speed that that ball hits the corner, and it's moving so quickly to the left, Dave, that it's hard to catch up to that ball.
Score is 14-5, second game. Ashleen Reilly wins the first one, 21-4. This is the women's finals of the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball in Fountain Valley, California. Nice diving get right there from Megan Mehilos, back up on her feet again. Here's a setup from Ashleen.
And a miss hit there.
$5-14.
You know, Dave, it'd be incredible to watch Ashleen come over here and play in the one-wall nationals and also the three-wall nationals. Could you imagine her outdoors with all that power and control?
Well, she plays 60 by 30, so she plays on courts that are similar in the sense that
14.
she knows how to play deep. And a 60 by 30 court 60 feet back is similar to a three-wall handball. She should be able to make the transition. Probably within the tournament she can make the transition.
I would think so.
Look at that
Tremendous
power.
shot.
She gets her hips through the zone too, and you can see her take that ball off the back wall and really open up and force her body, her lower half, to get through the strike zone. And that allows, watch, you can see here, it allows her left arm to go through.
Watch the amazing whip, though.
Wow.
See how loose that arm is. It's like a cooked spaghetti noodle. That's where you get all the power, Dave, is with all that flexibility.
I try to stay away from pasta when I'm playing handball.
14.
It's ice cream only, right?
Ice cream, chocolate peanut butter.
Okay.
Haagen-Dazs. I do that one that's just about a pint.
Okay.
I eat it in one setting every night. That's dinner.
This is one of the few times you're telling the truth. And believe it or not, people wouldn't believe that.
They think I'm joking on the thing I'm telling the truth on, and everything else is just staged.
Point.
Now Megan has brought the score to 7-14.
Megan's still within reach right now, Dave.
14.
You have to think if Ashling scores a couple more here and takes a 17-7 or
Point.
That ball hit the front wall hole, no.
Getting it short. I called the serve good. One agrees, one disagrees. Call stands. 8-14.
it's a strange situation there, Dave. When you hit that camera window, your initial reaction is a hesitation. You stop for that split second, and on a great serve, that split second's
Second serve.
all that you need to not be able to play that ball. Great court coverage there from Aisling. She makes that look easy, Dave, but she read that shot coming into that right corner and paddled it right back down the left. Megan should have shot that ball down the right. Hit that ball right at Aisling's feet, and Aisling makes a hand error.
8-14.
I don't see Megan extending on the ball, Dave, as well as I've seen her in the past. Very difficult to hit that ball down the line without extension. That's why you're seeing her hit a lot of balls back to the left, because the swing is closer to her body.
Side out.
And Megan there just reaching. That's been another one of her
Timeout. First timeout. 1 minute.
major flaws here today, Dave, is just that lack of an extra step. We don't know if she's not adjusting to the pace of the ball. She might be a little bit fatigued from yesterday's match, but I suspect it's mostly just being a little bit rattled and not being prepared for the pace that Aisling drives the ball.
The score here is 14-8. Megan has now tied the most points scored against Aisling Reilly in the U.S. Open and the United States Handball Association's four-wall nationals. That 8 points has kind of been a benchmark for players versus Aisling. That's how dominant she's been. It's game number 2. She won the first one 21-4. That's a very quick timeout there. Both players stepped out and then came back in. We were going to go to Fred Lewis, but
that was a 30-second timeout. We didn't go to commercials.
You could tell this isn't the men's pro doubles semifinals.
You see Megan shooting that ball right in front of Aisling. That has not been a successful strategy for any woman playing against the runaway Irish Express.
I was going to call her Aisling the Machine.
Let's see a replay of this here, David. It did look like that ball was headed straight for the floor. I'm surprised there's even an argument. Looked like that hit the bottom of Megan's foot. Let's see if we can get a look at this here. Maybe not. Hit the back of her leg, and I think that did have a chance. You don't see players argue very often, Dave, if they know it didn't have a chance.
Point.
Beautiful corner kill there from Megan. We'll see if Megan can take advantage of that call.
9-14.
9 serves 14. This is game number 2. Look at that shot right there.
Unfortunately for Megan, leaves that serve up off the back wall, and Aisling takes care of it.
You know, the big knock on this white ace ball is that from the women players are saying that the ball stays up when you hit the kill shot, but then you watch Aisling Reilly play, and no, it doesn't. She has a way of keeping that ball down. Maybe because she is clipping that corner first.
I think Aisling's got the perfect spin on that ball to actually keep this ball down, but you certainly need to adjust where you're hitting the ball on the side walls to keep this ball down.
Just a sidearm punch fist into that corner.
14-9.
1 inch high. That ball didn't pop up.
Side out.
Score is 9-14.
9-14.
This is the women's finals.
There's a miss hit there from Aisling. Got a little bit flat-footed there. Tried to drive that ball from shoulder height. Now it's Megan making a little bit of a run here, and that's a beautiful shot. We mentioned, David, 14-7. This was probably going to be Megan's last opportunity to make a run at this second game and try and force a tiebreaker. She scored 3 consecutive points here to pull within 4. Like we heard Fred mention, Dave, that's a beautiful paddle kill there from Megan. If Megan's able to keep that ball to Aisling's left, she'll be able to stay in all of these rallies. Aisling has a good, solid defensive left. You won't see her end many rallies with her left hand. So if Megan can figure out a way to play Aisling's left, I'm surprised we see her serving to the right, although she does get the ace there.
11-14.
11 serves 14. I like that serve there.
See, Aisling punches that ball to the ceiling. Megan will try and go back to the left, but the ball stays a little bit more down the middle than she would have liked, and Aisling makes her pay for it. Great ceiling shot into that corner. Dave, I'm surprised we haven't seen Megan mix her serve up a little bit. She hasn't had a lot of success with her serve. Hasn't earned a lot of setups with that serve.
I think Megan's also finding out that you just can't go to the roof with Aisling. Megan can do that with almost every other player that she plays because she has such a great command up there, but Aisling just seems like, okay, if you want to play that game, I have that too. I can play ground and pound. I can go up top. Whatever you want.
That was a big opportunity there for Megan. She had an opportunity, Dave, to take that ball back down the right side wall. I'd like to see Megan maybe lob serve the left of Aisling, look for the fly kill or look for the back wall setup. We'll go to Fred here, Dave, who's in the gallery right now, and hear what he thinks Megan may need to do.
Fred?
Well, as I said earlier, I think she needs to keep the ball on the left side. She's had opportunities, especially on ceiling shots, to put the ball back in the corner, but unfortunately, she put it back to Aisling's right hand. I think Aisling, had a little bit of a, disconnect there for a little bit. Uncharacteristically missed a few key setup shots. That one shot that you called an ace was not an ace. It was actually a back wall setup that she floored. And so seeing her disappear a little bit here. Now she's trying to get herself back into it. Megan, again, is going to have to keep the ball away from her right hand. There's nothing wrong with that serve to the left as long as, she keeps it off the back wall. So let's see what happens.
That's the problem, though, Dave. This ball is so fast, and these players hitting the ball so hard, it's difficult to keep that power serve off the back wall. That's why I think we see Aisling hitting this Z serve, because you can keep that serve off the back wall. You see she forces Megan to hit that ball from about 39 feet. That's the shot that she wants, and that's a flat kill in the right corner. How many times have we said that, Dave, throughout these two games?
That was a beautiful shot from our camera angle, just watching the mechanics. Didn't see the front wall, but you can see how her foot placement is.
Point.
And you see Ashley seeing the finish line now, Dave.
18-11.
18 serves 11, 3 points away from winning the U.S. Open of Handball.
Perfect serve. A little bit impatient, trying to drive that ball into the corner from
Side out.
her shoulder, and then just a strange air there, Dave. Very surprised that she missed that. Looked like she had her rhythm back.
11-18.
Still with a comfortable lead here, 3 points from the championship.
11 serves 18, Megan Mehilos serving. Megan told me that during her matches she will get advice from Bill Mehilos, her brother.
Side out.
And I said, does that happen the other way around too? And she said, absolutely not.
18-11.
But he's sitting courtside watching his sister.
Side out.
And another side out.
11-18.
11 serving 18, Dave. Megan has been unable to really stay with Aisling in either of these games.
Side out.
She's found herself with huge deficits early. The first game she was unable to climb out of it. This game she's
18-11.
sort of hanging around, although Aisling now just 3 points from the title. Here's a good opportunity. She hits that corner.
Point.
Megan just not making those gets. They're certainly very difficult gets. She's had her hand on a lot of balls, Dave, and
19-11.
has been unable to keep the rally alive. And that's a great serve. I'm surprised Aisling doesn't take that return out of the air. But a lot like Dave Chapman and Tony Healy, Dave, she'll wait for the best possible opportunity. She has no problem taking the ball back up to the ceiling or wrapping the ball around and waiting for a better opportunity. And when she gets it,
Championship point serves 11.
pretty much automatic. And here's match point.
Trip.
You saw her chirping at herself too. Did you see her?
Second serve.
See Aisling yelling at herself right before the serve, trying to pump herself up. This is a big thing to Aisling Reilly and her family and fans. There it is. Aisling Reilly wins the U.S. Open of Handball Women's Championship by the score of 21-4, 21-11 over America's #1 player, Mehilos. Here's that final play as we look at the replay.
Goes to the 2-all pass there rather than her favorite right corner kill, and it's effective.
Now normally,
you see her raise her arms there, Dave. You know, she's ecstatic right now.
Fist pump right there. Normally they go right into the court and they do a award presentation. In years past, they would go in and present the checks, and they had a little speech. We'll see if that materializes here for this women's championship. In the meantime, though, Fred Lewis is on the court with our Belfast champion, the Machine, Aisling Reilly, who you call the Irish Express, who just won her first U.S. Open championship. And he's on the floor with her now, Fred.
Congratulations, Aisling. Great match. Your thoughts? How do you think it went today?
I thought I played very well in the first game. Didn't let her get into the game. Took every opportunity, killed every shot. It's kind of nearly the perfect game, except for a few hand errors. Second game, had a good run again. Kind of just switched off for about 5-10 minutes, let her come into the game. And then there was a few bad calls there by the referee, and I kind of just put my head down. I just thought, get out as fast as I can. And that's what I tried to do today, and thankfully it worked.
Did you see yourself letting down a little bit in the second game? It looked like you skipped a couple of balls in that looked like setups. Too easy or what?
Missed a few just around the front court there. Very easy shots. I think after switching off for 5-10 minutes, I was trying to find my way back into the game again. Then a couple of shots kind of proved that, but then started making the shots again. Come in and close it out for the win.
Well, they're going to have the trophy presentation here pretty soon. Anything you want to say to the folks back home?
Hope you were watching. Thanks very much. Kind of put a lot of hard work in over the last few months, so paid off today.
Okay, great. Good talking to you, and congratulations.
Thanks a million.
Thank you.
Thank you, Fred Lewis. That is Aisling Reilly, who is the winner now of the U.S. Open of Handball, following great names like Anna Engel, who has pretty much owned that award here at this event. They're going to have an award ceremony. We're going to say goodbye, although we'll allow the webcast to continue here. And any audio that you hear will be part of that award presentation for Aisling Reilly winning the big check. Fred Waterfall is from the Simple Green folks is just testing the equipment. They'll have the group come out here with Nante Alvarado Sr. and Bruce Fabrizio in honor of the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball. Back at the booth, though, for Chris Grad, Jeff Kastner, and Dave Fink, my name is Dave Vincent, also for Fred Lewis. We are going to take a quick break, but we'll leave the audio running for this award ceremony for Aisling Reilly, our women's champion at this event. We'll be back in just a bit. Stay here at WPHLive.tv.